So Arsenal welcome Chelsea to the Emirates on Tuesday. Very interesting match. We know how wretched the form of both teams have been in recent times. If you look at the form table, right, Arsenal have one win out of five in the last five games. One win, three draws, and one loss. Chelsea have one draw and four losses. It shows how terrible both teams. And for Arsenal, not too terrible, but Chelsea's form has been very diabolical. Arsenal form in comparison, in context of the title chase and title charge, has been terrible. And we know Arsenal have this horrible habit of reviving teams who are down in the dumpsters. We have this terrible, notorious habit of giving teams redemptions, resurrections from the dead. We saw Southampton, who should not have any chance, any modicum of chance against us the other day, and we gave them a 2-goal head start. How do you do that in a title race? We did that. We've seen Brentford earlier this season. We were struggling. We resuscitated their season. So Arsenal have, over the years, love to give gift, even though it's not Christmas, it's not Easter. We just love to give bonuses when we don't need to do that. So expect Arsenal to give at least a goal to Chelsea. We've seen it, even with Saliba in the team this season, we just concede these clumsy goals at home. Our defensive record at home is not the finest. Away is one of the best, but at home is not the finest. So I would not be surprised if Chelsea come to Arsenal on Tuesday and might get something. I'm not saying they will, but it's just there because we've seen it over the years. Now, I expect Arsenal to actually play for pride, even though there's a slim chance, I would say 5% chance of Arsenal actually winning the league, because based on form, experience, and today, officially, Manchester City are now on top of the summit, leading Arsenal with 1 point, with one game in hand. So it will take a monumental implosion, collapse. It will take something tragic for Manchester City to relinquish their leadership of the summit of the English Premiership. It will take something like that. So, but aside from that, let's just play for pride and maintain second place. Now, mathematically, we've qualified for the Champions League. That doesn't mean we should just rest on our laurels. Let's play for pride and let's see if that 5% chance, something could happen. See, Man City could self-sabotage themselves. It's not impossible, but it's not probable. So let us continue to press. My expectations regarding team selection, we've seen how wretched, how bad Saka's form has been in the last 5 to 6 games. But because he's a star boy, he's an English boy, Helen product, nobody wants to talk about it. The English press, once you have an English passport, they refuse to be objective. They won't talk about Saka's form. But when Martinelli had a similar form, he was being called out. The fans were calling him out. But because it's Saka, is our star boy, Helen product, nobody wants to talk about the fact that Saka has been piss poor for the last 6 games. Don't tell me about the assist he had in one of those 2 games that we've played in the last 6 games. Don't tell me about the assist and the goal. He has been piss poor. Production has been poor. Playing has been poor. Takeovers have been poor. But nobody will talk about it because it's English, obviously. Because like I just give you a comparison. Martinelli had a similar fortune and people called him out. Jesus, in the last 2 or 3 games, you can give him the excuse of the injury, just recovery from an injury. So you can give him that excuse, but he has not been sharp. Why not play Trossard? See, this time we have option. Last season, I understand we didn't have option. Now we have option. It might not be the first choice options Arteta want, but we have options. I will get it on persisting on something when you don't have any option. But when we have options and you refuse to try them out, that is near madness. That is near borderline insanity. We have Will Walters, who is a right back. He might be a youngster. I'd rather play him as a right back than play Rob Holding, who has experience, but he is not competent. There is no facets. There is nothing. There's no. What would the right word? There's no part of the world where people play experience over competence. Like competence comes before experience. I'm not saying experience is not a good attribute, but competence should come before experience. But for Arteta, he wants experience over competence. And look at the results. The results have been wretched. Like I said, Chelsea at the Emirates, I will not be surprised if Arsenal decide to offer them the olive branch. They give them a restoration service and a resurrection service. I will not be surprised if Arsenal draw that match or lose that match. I'm not saying Arsenal could not bleed Chelsea obliterate Chelsea, get on a thumping, is a very good, there's a possibility of that. But on the flip side, and we've seen it sporadically with Arsenal. I won't say we've seen it sporadically with Arsenal. We saw it against Brentford when Brentford was struggling this season. Arsenal revitalized Brentford. We've seen it when strikers or midfielders are going through a torrid time, and Arsenal, they play against Arsenal and they get their mojo back. So I would not be surprised if Modric, who was supposed to come to Arsenal, is joining transfer that said to go up for Chelsea, scores his first goal. Imagine Modric scoring the first goal at the Emirates. That is what Arsenal can always offer these teams. They love a beautiful story of resurrection. They love a beautiful story or revitalization. They love it. They like to give life to dead horses. That's what Arsenal do sporadically. So I will not be shocked if Arsenal do that against Chelsea. At the same time, Arsenal could have a blinding game on Tuesday and rip Chelsea to shreds and force Todd Boehly to panic and sack his third appointment of a, even though he's an interim manager, he could sack Lampard on Tuesday. It's not impossible, but do not forget, like I said, sporadically, keyword, Arsenal have this habit of giving teams gifts. Look at Southampton. There was no way Southampton should have had a 2-goal head start on Arsenal. The game we drew. We're even fortunate to get that draw. Look at how poor. Look how condescending. Look at how we made Southampton look like a team that will be relegated at the end of the season. We made them look like a good team. Even though I understand the English Premiership is a very competitive team, but in context of we are competing for the league and we give Southampton life. That's what Arsenal can do. So, regardless of my rant, of my seemingly pessimism, I still think Arsenal will win that match, but I'm very sure Arsenal will give a sloppy goal away. Even with Saliba, Arsenal will be clumsy at the back, giving goals away. At home, we have a better away record defensively than a home record. At home, we just love to offer candies, metaphorically, goals to oppositions, even though we're winning those games. But we love to be so celebratory and give these teams at least 1 or 2 goals, even though most of the time we end up winning these games. So I'll be surprised if we give Modric 1 goal or a João Felix, who has been firing blanks, but it looks aesthetically pleasing. I won't surprised, but I still expect Arsenal to win that game. If that's my prediction, I'll say a 2-1. I think Arsenal can make it a 2-1. I'm so sure that Chelsea will score, even though they're firing blanks, but I'm sure Chelsea will score. We'll do something silly and something clumsy at the back. So I'm so sure Chelsea will score, but I think Arsenal will win 2-1. Let me know predictions in the comment section. What are you predicting? What do you think the lineup? Do you think Arteta will change it? I'll be shocked this time if Arteta decides to change it, because he loves to play holding. He prefers experience over competence. There's nothing wrong if you play Real Waters as a right back, who is a better right back at the football, even as a youngster, and put Ben White in his rightful place. No, you rather put Ben White as a right back and chuck in Holding, who has been a disaster this season for the few games he's played. He has been a disaster, but he's calling the shots. He's still riding on the fact that he won us an FA Cup and he's riding on that credit. So let's see team list that will be put out on Tuesday. And before that, he's going to do his press conference tomorrow. Let's see what he's going to say. If there's anything extraordinary says tomorrow, I'll do the steps of the press conference tomorrow. Expect the video on that. If it doesn't say anything controversial or something that is worthy of talking about, I won't be doing it. So if you like my content and you're new to my channel, do me a favor by subscribing. This is the first time, and if you like the content, make sure you subscribe. Do not forget to like the video. It's very, very important for the growth of the channel and the algorithm. And do not forget to make sure notification bells are turned on, because YouTube these days do not send notifications. So make sure your notifications are turned on. Like I said, let me know your predictions in the comment section, and I'll see you guys on the next one.